as a girl. In fact, I was quite jealous when John was paying you so much attention.
She's fooling because I lost him. Those were childhood days in a country town.
She's trying to make you feel that John was only a country boy.
Most great men have come from the country. There is a fair chance that John will be added to the list.
I know I'm bitterly jealous of you.
Undoubtedly, he owes much of his success to you, Margaret. Your experience and economy, your ability to endure hardship. Those first few years in Paris must have been a struggle.
She is sneering at your poverty.
We did find life difficult at first. Not the luxurious start a girl has who marries well.
Deny that you married Charles for his money.
But John and I are so congenial in our tastes that we were impervious to hardship or unhappiness.
Is it true? Do you really love each other?
Did you have all the romance of starving for his art?
She's taunting you. Get even with her.
Not for long. Prince Rieux soon discovered John's genius and introduced him royally to wealthy Parisians who gave him many orders.
Are you telling the truth or are you lying?
Let me see. If you had so many chances there, you must have had great inducements to come back to the States.
We did, but not the kind you think.
John became the rage among Americans traveling in France too, and they simply insisted upon his coming here.
When is he going to paint here?
What names dare I make up?
Oh, just at present, Miss Dorothy Ainsworth of Oregon is posing. You may not know the name, but she is the daughter of a wealthy miner who found gold in Alaska.
I dare say there are many Western people we've never heard of.
You must have found social life in New York very interesting, Harriet, after the simplicity of our hometown.
There's no need to remind us that our beginnings were the same.
Charles's family made everything delightful for me. They're so well connected.
Flatter her.
I heard it mentioned yesterday that you had made yourself very popular. Someone said you are very clever.
Who told you that?
Nobody.
Oh, confidences should be suspected. Respected, I mean. They said, too, that you are becoming a critic of art.
I make no pretenses.
Are you and Mr. Goodrich interested in the same things, too?
No?
Yes, indeed. Charles and I are inseparable.
I wonder.
Have another cake.
Oh, yes.
I really shouldn't, after my big luncheon. John took me to the Ritz, and we were invited to the Bedfords for dinner. They have such a magnificent house near the drive. I really shouldn't. The cakes are so good.
Starving.
More tea?
Yes.
No, thank you. How wonderfully life has arranged itself for you. Wealth, position, a happy marriage, every opportunity to enjoy all pleasures, beauty, art. How happy you must be.
Don't call me happy. I haven't been happy since I lost John. All these years without him, a future without him. No, I shall win him back. Away from you, away from you.
I sometimes think it is unfair for anyone to be as happy as I am. Charles and I are just as much in love today as when we married. Me is just the dearest man in the world.
My John is... I love him so much. I'm going through hunger and want to make him great. He loves me. He worships me.
I should like to meet Mr. Goodrich. Bring him to our studio. John has some sketches to show. Not many, because all the portraits have been purchased by their subjects. He gets as much as $4,000 now.
Don't pay that much.
As much as that.
It is not really too much when one considers that John is in the foremost ranks of artists today. A picture painted by him now will double and triple in value.
It's a lie. He was growing weak with despair.
Does he paint all day long?
No. He draws advertisements for our bread.
When you and Mr. Goodrich come to visit, telephone first.
Yeah. So he can get the advertisements out of the way.
Otherwise, you might arrive while he has a sitter, and John refuses to let him disturb him then.
Her ask for the order.
Lagrange offered to paint me for $1,000.
Louis Lagrange's reputation isn't worth more than that.
Well, I've heard his work well mentioned.
Yes. He is doing splendid work.
Oh, dear me, no. He is only praised by the masses. He is accepted not at all by artists themselves.
Must I really pay the full price?
Lagrange thought I would make a good subject.
Let her fish for it.
Of course you would. Why don't you let Lagrange paint you, if you trust him?
She doesn't seem anxious to have John paint us.
And if he's not accepted by artists, it would be a waste of time to pose for him, wouldn't it?
Yes, I think you would.
Give us the order. John is so despondent he can't endure much longer. Help us. Help me. Save us.
Don't seem too eager.
And yet, if he charges only $1,000, one might consider it.
If you really wish to be painted, why don't you give a little more and have a portrait really worthwhile? John John might be induced to paint you for a little below his usual price, considering you used to be such good friends.
Hooray!
That's very nice of you to offer. Of course, I don't know.
For God's sake, say yes.
Of course, I don't know that John would. He is very peculiar in these matters. He sets his value on his work and thinks it beneath him to discuss price.
You make us feel so small.
Still, I might quite delicately mention to him that inasmuch as you have many influential friends, you would be very glad to
Finish what I don't want to say.
Help her out.
Of course, introductions will follow the exhibition of my
Be
portrait.
patronizing.
No doubt I shall be able to introduce your husband to his advantage.
Saved.
If I find John in a propitious mood, I shall take pleasure, for your sake, in telling him about your beauty. Just as you are sitting now would be a lovely pose.
We can go now.
You flatter me, my dear.
You managed the order very neatly. She doesn't suspect that she wanted it.
Now, if I'm not satisfied with my portrait, I shall blame you, Margaret, dear. I'm relying upon your opinion of John's talent.
She doesn't suspect what you've come for. Run home and tell John.
I little guessed when I came for a pleasant chat about old times they would develop into business arrangements. I had no idea, Harriet, that you had any intention of being painted. By Lagrange, too. Well, looks like I came just in time to rescue you.
You don't have to stay so long. Hurry home.
Don't let her think she's doing us a favor.
Now, if I'm not satisfied with my portrait, I shall blame you, Margaret, dear. I'm relying upon your opinion of John's talent.
How does you who flatter now?
One does not flatter when one tells the truth.
Well, I must be going, or you will have me completely under your spell.
Yes, do go. I have to dress for dinner.
Don't hurry.
I hate you.
No, really, I must. But I do hope we shall see each other often at the studio. I find you so stimulating.
I hate you.
It is indeed gratifying to find a kindred spirit.
I came for your gold.
How delightful it is to know you again.
I'm going to make you and your husband suffer.
My kind regards to John.
He has forgotten all about
He
you.
will be so happy to receive them.
I can hardly wait to talk to him again.
I shall wait then until you send me word.
I speak to John about it as soon as I can and tell you when to come.
I love him.
He's starving.
I love him.
I'm
I'm
starving.
going to take him away from you.
I want your money and your influence.
I'm going to rob you.
Rob you!
I've had such a delightful afternoon.
It's been a joy to see